The best time of the year for a tech person is just around the corner, with Note 9 being days away from its launch and the next generation of iPhones being just a month. So this seems like an appropriate time to find out the best smartphones that money can buy right now. And the first one on our list is the Huawei P20 Pro. So let's do a specs roundup for it. This beast is powered by the Kirin 970 chipset and has a beautiful 6.1 inches AMOLED screen. Under the hood it has got 6GB of RAM and 128GB of onboard storage and has a mighty fast fingerprint scanner up in the front. It is backed by a mammoth 4000 mAh battery and is IP67 certified, which means it is splash proof. Real magic begins when you take a look at the back of the device, as it houses a triple camera setup. Yes, you heard it right. The primary camera is a 40 megapixel shooter with 1.8 aperture. The secondary lens is a 8 megapixel telephoto lens for those background blurry portrait shots, and the third one is a 20 megapixel monochrome lens with aperture at 1.6, which takes black and white photos to add a little more drama to your shots. All the three lenses have optical image stabilization, but the only thing lacking is that in 4K it does not support OIS. The next smartphone on our list comes directly from the Samsung stable. Yes, it is the Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. Let's have a look at the specs. It is powered by the Exynos 980 chipset and has 6GB of RAM and 64GB of onboard storage. It is IP68 certified and hence it is waterproof and dustproof. Up in the front it has got a 6.2-inch Super AMOLED display, which is best in the market, and it has got an infinity design and keeps itself unique from the competition by ditching the notch up on the display. The earpiece also works as a speaker and does give stereo output while listening to music. The most amazing feature of the smartphone itself is the camera. It has a dual camera setup, but the primary lens is an industry-leading variable aperture lens, which gives you the option of shooting at either f1.5 or f2.4, which means it is a beast of a phone when it comes to low-light photography and night shots. The video shooting capabilities of the device is also great. It shoots 4K at 30 frames per second and slow motion at 960 frames per second, which adds a lot of value to your slow-mo videos. The next smartphone on our list is for all the Apple fanboys. Yes, it's the iPhone X, the best iPhone yet. Let's talk about the positives first. It has got a beautiful AMOLED screen, the Face ID works flawless, it has a dual camera setup and the portrait shots are just amazing, but not as great as Huawei P20 Pro. It is waterproof and it practically gave birth to the notch-up display, which soon became a trend and the next big thing in the smartphone industry. Comparatively smaller size of the battery and a pretty steep price tag are the two things that work against the latest iPhone being offered. The next smartphone on our list is from a brand which is known to be a flagship killer. Yes, it's the OnePlus with its latest offering, the OnePlus 6. In the specs department, this thing is a beast. Up in the front it has got a 6.2-inch AMOLED display with the infamous notch in the center. Under the hood it is powered by the Snapdragon 845 chipset and is offered in two variants, 64GB of onboard storage with 6GB of RAM and 128GB of onboard storage with 8GB of RAM. At the back it has got a dual camera setup. The primary shooter is a 16 megapixel lens with f1.7 aperture and the secondary lens is a telephoto lens of 20 megapixel for those amazing bokeh effect in the pictures. The things that work in favor of this device are the amazing price point at which it is sold in the market, the inclusion of all the latest features and the hardware, and the industry-leading dash charging, which truly justifies the motto of the brand to never settle. Thank you guys for watching my video and please subscribe to my channel, Techandtravel Unboxed.